What's up? It's good to be back after weeks of in and out, moving shit everywhere, shipping shit, staying at families' houses, traveling, bringing my cat on the plane. All of this, and we are finally settled on the west coast of Canada, and I am ready to bring you guys new content just like this video, a roundup from around the world of who's in and who's out of contention for the World Cup. But before we get to all of that, I need a favor from you guys, and it's simple, it's easy. All you gotta do is vote in the thread that I've created below in the comments section, because I wanna get that career mode started, boy. I got FIFA 18, I haven't even cracked it open yet. So I'm gonna be terrible when I play, but that's okay, because it'll be more entertaining for you. But who am I gonna play as? That's what I don't know. I had a few ideas in mind, but I wanted to see what you guys thought, and so I took some of your more popular votes and I threw them into the mix. So we have 3 teams to choose from. First, Borussia Dortmund. They were actually one of the more suggested teams. Or perhaps you want to see me manage a team that needs some major fixing up because they are drowning in real life. Crystal Palace. Maybe a financial takeover? Or a former Italian powerhouse that is on their way back up to the top but could use a little managerial magic. From yours truly, Inter Milan. Now, the actual vote was for AC Milan from a few of you guys, but given that Jimmy's already managing them, or sorry, given that manager Eno is already managing AC Milan,
and you have to be okay with that,
I think it would be kind of dumb if we did the same teams, you know? So, if you guys want me to, I can manage their crosstown rivals, Inter Milan, maybe get a little clash of universes going on, you know what I'm saying? So please guys, vote in the thread if you can. What am I saying if you can? Of course you can vote in the thread. Get to that thread down there, place your vote, and we'll choose a team and get that manager mode out maybe this weekend. Career mode, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's talk about qualifying in general and England specifically, as they had a record qualifying campaign, finishing 8 points ahead of second place Slovakia, despite their football being about as exciting as the LVG era Manchester United.
What is this world twisted?
But despite that, England are now unbeaten in their last 39 qualifiers, and in this campaign, they won 8, drew 2, and had 8 clean sheets. Harry Kane took his tally to 7 goals in his last 6 matches for England and ensured that a Spurs player has been involved in 9 of England's last 11 goals. Speaking of Spurs, Harry Winks made his debut for the senior side, meaning that of the last 30 England debutants, 15 of them have been coached by Pochettino. I mean, why doesn't he just take on the managing role for England as well? His tactics are pretty good. He knows almost every single player that plays on the team. Plus, I mean, how hard can it be managing Spurs and the English national team at the same time? All right, let's keep it interesting and jump to Africa, the north of Africa, because Mo Salah and Egypt had a historic win over the Congo. Their 2-1 win made them the 15th team to qualify for the 2018 World Cup, and also ensured that the Pharaohs have still only lost 1 World Cup qualifier at home in their history. The last time Egypt was in the World Cup, a large portion of us weren't even born yet, and neither was the man who sent them to their first World Cup in 28 years, Mohamed Salah. He took his Egypt goal-scoring record to 32 goals and 56 caps. In fact, his form for club and country since joining Liverpool has probably been the best of his career, as he has scored 9 goals with 1 assist in 14 matches. And by the way, if you haven't seen the footage of Salah putting away that 95th minute penalty to get them into the World Cup, you gotta see it. The emotion of the crowd before he even took it, there was people crying. As soon as it went in, people flooded onto the field, joining him in prayer. The commentator was crying, saying his name and Allah over and over and over. This is why we watch football, am I right? Maybe I got a little emotional too. Maybe you will if you watch it as well. All right, back to Europe, and shout out to Poland and Robert Lewandowski as they qualified for their first World Cup since 2006 after they beat Montenegro 4-2. Now, as I said, a massive shout to Poland for this feat, but let's take a look at Lua and his ridiculous scoring record. He scored a higher percentage of goals for Poland at 57% than any other player in this World Cup qualifying campaign. His 16 goals in 10 matches are the most that any player has scored in a European qualifying campaign, with 3 hat-tricks along the way and 1 assist, his first since 2013. And all of this while only scoring in 9 of the 10 qualifiers. Before Salah's 95th minute winner to send Egypt to the World Cup, Vancouver Whitecaps defender Kendall Waston headed home a 95th minute equalizer against Honduras to send Los Ticos to their 5th World Cup in their history. So with Mexico and Costa Rica through already, Panama, the USA, and Honduras had the last match of the Hex to sort their futures out. And what happened? Well, in the USA's case, they failed big time as they lost 2-1 to Trinidad and Tobago in Trinidad. And with Panama defeating Costa Rica and Honduras defeating Mexico, that means that the USA finished in 5th, while Honduras goes to an intercontinental playoff against Australia, and Panama, Congrats to Panama. Sorry for clapping so loudly, but they qualify for their first ever World Cup. All right, back to Europe, because the smallest nation to ever qualify for the World Cup, well, they qualify for the World Cup. So let's all stand and clap again. We're clapping for Iceland this time. Great job to them, as they went on to prove that the purple patch that they hit in the Euros wasn't just a purple patch and that they are actually a class team. As they finished first in a group of teams consisting of Croatia, the Ukraine, Turkey, Finland, and Kosovo. And in the case of Turkey and Croatia, top tournament teams. Maybe not top tournament, but you know. Iceland won 7 of their 10 qualifiers and scored more goals in this group than any other team. And in this past international break, they beat Turkey 3-0 in Turkey, then came back home to Iceland and sealed their qualification with a 2-0 win over Kosovo. With those 2 clean sheets, that made 5 in a row towards the end of their campaign, so they really brought it together to reach their goal of qualifying to the 2018 World Cup. So big up to Iceland. Pretty impressive feat. You know who else looked impressive? Portugal, for once, as they took care of business in Lisbon with a 2-0 win over Switzerland, who were top of this group with a perfect 9 wins from 9 going into this match. So they will be going to the playoffs to try to secure their spot in Russia, while Wales just missed out on an opportunity to make the playoffs, as they fell 1-0 to Ireland of the Republic persuasion, who were actually the first team to beat Wales in qualifying since 2013. And that team that beat them in 2013 was Serbia, who actually topped the group and qualified for the World Cup automatically. As for the other qualified nations in Europe, the usual suspects made it through, except for Italy, as they only managed to qualify for the playoffs. Other teams of note in the playoffs are the aforementioned Switzerland, Denmark, Croatia, Sweden, Northern Ireland, Greece, and the Republic of Ireland. These will make for an extremely exciting playoff round during the November international break. Australia had a pretty tough time in their Asian playoff against Syria, as it took extra time and a brace from Tim Cahill, a 37-year-old Tim Cahill, I might add, to qualify them for an intercontinental playoff against the aforementioned Honduras. Cahill scored his 49th goal in the first half to bring Australia even with Syria, who scored in the 6th minute, and then scored his 50th, what a way to mark your half-century, in extra time to win the match and the tie for Australia. By the way, 26 of Cahill's 50 goals for Australia have been scored with his head. What a ledge. But also props to Syria, as they had a great run. And finally, CONMEBOL, aka, for all of you who aren't in the know with these weird names that FIFA has for the different areas of the world, South America. The South Americans had one of the craziest final qualifying days. Argentina and Lionel Messi were against the ropes coming into this one, but thankfully for Argentina, Lionel Messi beat Ecuador all on his own with his ludicrous chip to seal the deal, ensuring they won 3-1, and they finished comfortably in the end. 3rd place, automatic qualification. NBD.
No big deal.
Uruguay had a routine win against Bolivia, winning it 4-2, so they're in there automatically. And South American champions, Chile. They don't need this World Cup. Well, it's a good thing they don't need it, because they absolutely shite the bed against Brazil, getting trounced 3-0. No favors from the already qualified Brazilians in that one. Chile would have been fine, except for Peru managed a late-ish equalizer against Colombia, who was already through. So that late equalizer brought them onto level points with Chile, and given they have the superior goal difference, +1 to Chile's -1, Peru makes it into the Intercontinental Playoff against New Zealand. It's crazy. Peru scored 27 and conceded 26, while Chile did the exact opposite. So you know what that means? Confirmed so far, no Sanchez and no Bale at this next edition of the World Cup. Or Pulisic even. No Pulisic, wow. For the umpteenth time, I'm not American, so rag on the Americans all you like, I don't care. But as neutral, isn't that a little sad? Don't you want to see these top players playing at the highest level? Even though international football is kind of crappy at times. You know what else is sad? This is the end of this episode. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I thank you so much for sticking around and not ditching me while I was gone for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Make sure you get your votes in quick for my career mode because I want to get that shit out to you guys as soon as possible. Hopefully this weekend. I love ya, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.